What's up, guys? Welcome back to Big Yogi's Garage. Today I got my friend Shawn Ford. What's up, Shawn?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful, dude.
Good.
It's great to catch up with you.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
cool.
been so long.
I used to work with Shawn a long time ago at the casino, and after that we became good friends. And then for a while we played flag football together. I played on his team, and then he played different things. But I've always followed you on Facebook ever since. And I seen you had kids and stuff like that. So I wanted to have you on just to like hang out, give a little, just like hang out and we got a little drinks.
Oh yeah, everybody, cheers. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Yeah, so I just wanted I wanted to ask you like how, like your little journey about the casino, how we met, you know what I mean? Give a little backstory.
Man.
How did you even what did you do before the casino?
I was actually in sales and marketing with AT&T doing the fiber optic network. It's based out of Perrysburg, actually, over off of 795 at the time. It was a small little marketing business, and then it grew. And we actually were doing really well until the owner actually decided to move to like a bigger city. Columbus area was actually where he actually went. And the greatest part about it is it taught me a lot about how to run a business, managing it at a young age. I think I was like 24, 25. Yeah. I mean, you're getting this from owners of companies, these bigwigs that come in. You have so many different people that'll branch out to you and you can learn a lot from. So that's what I learned until it actually moved. And then that's when the casino came up, man. Yeah. It was a great opportunity that they made, and I love it.
It was new, huh?
Everybody. It was so packed. Like every weekend, every day, the thing was packed. You had lines wrapped around the whole street. Yeah. You don't even see that very much anymore.
Nah,
it's like,
now it's dead.
Everybody's just like, well.
Well, no, it's kind of picking up right now because of the sports betting thing.
Yes.
Sports betting got to like right now it's kind of boiling up a little bit. But remember we used to have it was like 5 of us.
Yes. It was Cruz. What's up, buddy? I miss you, man.
Yeah. Seifel.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
Jake.
He passed away. Rest in peace, Jake.
Rest in peace, man. Definitely.
And then
he was the best photographer. That man could sit there and take pictures all day and still enjoy it.
So it's me, you, Seifel, Cruzy, and Jake.
Yeah, right? That was the whole EBS
That was our third
crew.
Third shift. There was a couple other people and stuff, but you know what I mean. They had different we just had like a little crew.
Yeah, every night we would all be like, all right, man, where are we gonna go and like our little hangout spot? We'd be in the bathroom, bullshit, hanging out.
Hey, like I used to find money and stuff.
There was a guy.
I'm getting in trouble for that right now, but I used to find money.
There was a guy that found that was actually at the casino. He found like $10,000 in a little bag. And gave it back to him. Of course.
I remember that. Yes. Yeah, I remember something like that. He found it in the bathroom, right?
Yes.
And he didn't even have to tell nobody.
No, didn't have to tell. I mean, honestly, 10 grand in cash, man. I don't know. Bad vibes. Honestly, I'd have to give it back because I don't want the bad juju.
Yeah, but that was crazy. I remember that. Did people ever give you tips and stuff when we were working there?
We used to get tips all the time. Here you go. You can take my glass all the night. Making sure they had water. Even we were out there helping the EVS girls, or not the EVS, but the model beverage servers. Yes, all of them. We'd help them out. They'd sit there and be like, "Hey, we need some waters or whatever." So,
bro, like we were in the cleaning crew, but I wouldn't trade that time for nothing, bro.
Oh no, not at all. That was so much fun. Like every night there was something different.
Yeah, because the thing is, at the casino, it's like you never know what to expect. Definitely. Remember, like one night there was a fight. One night there was a bunch of hookers or something.
Yes,
Night there's this.
We actually came up with the thing. I know when we were back there, we came up with at 1 o'clock. You start 1 and 2 o'clock. You have the drunk people are getting all rowdy and stuff. Then 3 o'clock. Then the after hours is actually starting to close. And then 4 o'clock. Then all the rest of the from all around Toledo would come in, and then it'd be real slow, and we'd all go and hang out and just be like, hey man, look, we ain't got nothing to do, so just kind of be scarce.
I know sometimes I would just sit in the bathroom and just wait for the shift to end.
You don't know how many times a lot of us did that.
Yeah, because the thing is, at the casino you can only do so much, and then after a while you're like, what is us? on third shift, especially.
Oh, third
Because
shift.
a lot of times we work there. I think most of the time we work third shift.
Mm-hmm.
Did
11
you
to 7:30.
did you ever like what did you do after that? Did you move up in the casino? Because I ended up moving to the poker room, and then did you move up? Because I
I
can't
actually
remember.
did. I ended up going to the Final Cut, the
Oh,
steak and
yeah.
seafood in there.
Yeah, like
I was
like
awarded
that fancy
the.
restaurant.
Oh, it's great steak, man.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't tried the Hollywood Casino, go there.
Yeah, the
honestly.
Final Cut.
Tell them Big Yogi sent you.
Yeah, you'll probably be like, get the heck out of here.
But no, I actually worked in there as the right hand man to the chef. I was the last eyes to see the food before it went out to the customers, and
Okay.
even then, we'd actually go out and present those to the individuals.
Oh, for real?
It's so much. You can meet doctors, lawyers,
Yeah.
judges, a lot of high-ranking people, and just the experience alone. The connections that you can meet, especially if you put yourself out there, especially in a business
Yeah.
aspect of it, you can really find a
Absolutely.
good people to be around and build those connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I believe in it's not all you know. Sometimes it's who you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because sometimes you might not be the smartest person in the room, or a lot of times you're not gonna be the smartest person in the room, but there might be someone that's like a millionaire sitting there like wishing like he knew something to spend his money on, and you're like, hey man, I got a good idea, you know?
Exactly. You never know who you're gonna meet.
You
And
never
that's
know.
one thing my grandfather was always famous for saying was, dress to impress. You never know who you're gonna meet. You can meet your next new wife. You can meet a business partner. You could, meet the next superstar, or you could be the next actor that comes out of, Toledo or something. So, always putting your best foot forward, and always, that first image that people sees of you. And that's what I learned not only as a young age, but as, as a young adult. And now I'm in my 30s, so it's definitely something that has always been close to my heart, and how I've always looked at my grandfather. He passed a few years ago, so it's the same thing.
Sorry about that.
No, hey,
But-
that man was great, man. I had my first beer with him.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome to be able to have that experience with him. So.
Absolutely, that's awesome. So, how was you raised? Was you raised in a good home and stuff? Were you
Yes,
guys raised
yeah.
all
My
messy?
parents. It was a little rough growing
You've
up.
always been a good dude ever since I met you. I've always thought Shawn's like raised in a good home. Like
I've had my rough patches,
Yeah.
man. Definitely.
I was
I've
just
learned
wondering
my
'cause-
lessons.
Yeah, so your grandpa and everybody was pretty like your grandpa
yeah.
helped raise you and stuff.
No, like we saw our family. Like every
Oh,
Sunday,
okay,
my
yeah.
grandma would be behind the stove making
Yeah.
all her dishes. And then on my dad's side, we'd go to theirs, every other weekend, or we'd go to the Fort Worth Stockyards, which is always famous in Texas. You can go to Cowtown, is a
Oh,
country
because
western.
you grew up in Texas. Huh?
Yes, Dallas, Fort Worth, baby.
Okay, so you're not from Toledo.
No,
So how did you even end up in Toledo?
So that's long story short.
I know, yeah, long story short, if you
My
want.
father moved us up here when in my
Okay.
sophomore year of high school. He actually was a actor out here for McDonald's. So
Oh.
he was with them in their group, and did a lot of sales and marketing for McDonald's until they took him off of his duties there, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. So it was that's what brought us
That's
up
how you
here.
guys
My
got up
sophomore
here.
year, didn't know nobody, leaving from home. That was my
Yeah.
first aspect as like growing up as a kid. Like, okay, this realization, like you're going out and not really going out into the real world, because I still have
Yeah.
my parents, but it's like taking you from something that you know,
Yeah.
like everything, the people that you go to
That's
school
hard,
with,
bro.
and then trying to meet new people, and then and accept that. Like if they don't accept you, then I mean that's their opinion only.
Yeah, because you're you.
But as a young age, if I would have known that as a younger kid, I mean, there's a lot of different situations that I could have fixed or
Yeah.
not done. But at the end of the day, how I look at it is, you have to always, put your best foot forward. Make sure that you are doing the right thing. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
I mean, the only person that can check you is you. I mean, your friends and your family can always be there to help you, but at the end of the day, there's only one person that's going to be held reliable for yourself.
Absolutely.
So.
You're 100% honest about that.
Yeah.
That's really good. So you do now like you do like sales and stuff, right?
I'm actually
Wait, well, hold on, before you answer that. After the casino, didn't you go into sales or no? Or you did
that was
sales?
before sales and
Okay.
marketing, and then that's what led me into that job because it was new. I was
Now
actually
you're like
trying,
a manager? or
Yeah, I was trying to move up to be one of the high roller
the casino, right?
executives to try and like take people out, you know, because I like being around, like
Yeah.
going out, having fun. I'm an outgoing person. I guess that's, you know, what I get from my parents. So, but that drive, that want to do something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have that too. I wanted to, at one point, I used to tell people, I'm going to own this casino. It's going to be called YOGI'Z Casino.
I remember we used to joke about that all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
Definitely. Oh, what do we do if we won $1 million? Or
Yeah,
if
because,
we
like-
owned a casino, how would we run it? Like we wouldn't have these guys over here acting like this.
I don't know, because, okay, so you started like in sales, and that gets you like, you know, that's really good with talking to people. The casino, I guess you talking to people. And so then after that, then like, what did you started working? What do you do now? You told me a little bit of what you do now.
I actually, from there, I went into the car industry for a little
you
bit.
did?
A long time. I think it was a good 5-6 years I was in with
That's
that.
more sales, isn't it, right?
No, actually, I was in warehousing inside
Oh,
with
okay, okay.
Chrysler, with
Okay, yeah.
Ford, GM. I was promoted out of Toledo to go to Brownstown. I became the material coordinator up there with that company. And I met a young lady. Her name is Yanja. Thank you, Yanni. She's like my work mom. She actually got me back into school. I went to school for my bachelor's in supply chain management, and that's what got me into, you know, the car industry and managing warehouses. From there, I actually got into aerial and underground is what I'm doing now, and fiber optics. So before AT&T or your Verizon providers can give you the service, we have to go out and build that grid. And my companies actually have about 50 cities that they have to complete over the next 5 to 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Currently, I run 5 of the actual warehouses here in Ohio. I manage them, so I'm always on the road, giving material out, issuing material out, even, you know, trucking all the stuff down to them. I mean, it's a never-ending situation because it's just you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one person at my shop because that's just for deliveries, but outside of that, I'm the one that makes it kind of rotate. Besides the material and the people that are out there putting it in, I'm the one, you know, in what they say, the background. I'm the guy that's doing everything behind the scenes, trying to make sure everything's rolling.
Coordinated correctly to get your trucks in and out, everything's situated. So that's what you do now.
Oh, I love it.
So when we worked at the casino, there was a time when we were talking about flag football, and then I had played flag football, and then you said, "What us just start our own
Yes,
team."
Hollywood Casino. I remember our first jerseys were the black and gold. Are the ones that I got. I actually got the sponsorship from the Hollywood Casino.
How did you even do that? How did you get the sponsorship? I want to know.
Here's the thing. Honestly, it's all about approach. They actually wanted at least half the players that were on the team to be working at the casino at the time. In order to actually do that, they actually gave us the sponsorship for the individual each session that we did, and then we, as the team members, would pay for the jerseys. Anything that we win, whether it's like if we won a championship, we would, you know, of course, let them hold it, the trophy or whatever it was. But we also gave them a jersey. Back then, the owner or the manager that was running it, he was like, "Hey, as long as I can get a jersey, I can come on out." I'm like, "Hey, come on out there," you know. And then they had the Final Cut guys. I mean, a lot of them are still there that still work or have been traveling around the United States. I know a couple guys moved to Vegas. That's kind of why the Hollywood Casino team kind of diminished, was because of that. Most of the group that was together, like Eric, my buddy Derek. I mean, there's so many people that I could name. Chris Wilson still out there. I mean, these guys, you know, they move on with their careers and stuff, so it takes you
kind of in the same industry, but maybe to a bigger casino in Vegas.
They're in Vegas now, so they're living it up and out there, and that's awesome.
I think there's a couple of dealers that ended up going to Vegas. Dwayne, I think he was a dealer in the poker room, and now he's a dealer, I think, in Vegas.
Yes. He told me to hit him up when I come out there. I plan on taking my honeymoon out there this next year to go out there and see the West Coast again. I haven't been out there in so long.
I went there I had like a little honeymoon, or not a honeymoon, what's the bachelor party?
Okay.
It was like before, I had a bachelor party here, but it was like a little bachelor party over there. in Vegas before. It was kind of fun.
You had the Hangover
Yeah.
movies. Huh?
Well, it wasn't that bad. I went with my wife, and my wife went with her sister and stuff, and I went with a couple of guys
Okay,
to
that's
did my
awesome.
thing, and they did. We just went to a strip club, but it wasn't nothing like crazy.
Yeah.
It was just like the basic strip club, you know.
It's the experience.
But I mean,
It's
it
being
was
around your
it was
friends.
nice because it was Vegas, so it was like, you know, the casinos and all that. That was pretty cool. I've never been to Vegas, so that was I liked all that kind of like looking at all the casinos and
Did you
stuff.
guys zip line or anything?
No, I wanted to, but by the time I went to go buy the ticket, it was like sold out.
Oh,
Because there
man.
was like you have to like a certain time limits. There's only so many they sell in a day.
Mm-hmm.
At the hotel we were at, they had one,
Okay.
but I didn't get to do it. But I'm down to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so then after that, you played for a bunch of teams and stuff,
Oh yeah,
right?
I went on a little run with the good fellas, Toledo.
Yeah, you guys won championships.
Yes, we won many championships from, and not just me, but a lot of the guys that are out there. They had built this team before,
Yeah.
and literally just added me in as a family member. And we ran on, I think it was 2017. We got second in the nation out in Florida, and it was amazing. Like we lost.
So that was
in-
Worlds or something.
Yes, that's our world tournament. That's actually going on right now. So if
Yeah.
you guys like it, hit
Yeah.
up the USA flag. They're trying to put it in the Olympics soon,
Oh, for real?
which is really cool. They actually have it in the World Games now.
Oh.
So that's where a lot of some of these flag football groups, as it builds,
Yeah.
it's gonna expand even more. Like they have it in all different types of countries.
Damn, I didn't know all this.
You know what the Pro Bowl this year?
Huh?
It's actually going to be a flag football game.
Oh, is it?
Yes, they're trying to introduce it to not only limit injuries,
Uh-huh.
you know, and over time, people don't really take the Pro Bowl as, you know, because they don't want to get injured or
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah.
or
Because if
anything
they
like
play a
that.
regular game, they don't take it seriously. But if they make it like a flag football game, that would be kind of sweet.
It would be, and that's what they're doing is making it into a flag.
Yeah,
and-
you really heard that for real? I never
Yeah,
heard
they,
that.
they have it already on there. They were
Oh,
been
really?
advertising. I can't wait.
I can't
It's
wait
gonna be
either.
a
'Cause,
nice one.
like when we first started playing flag football, everybody was like, "What are you playing?" But I'm like, "Man, you don't even know. That shit is so much fun."
Yep.
Yeah, you get so much aggression out, like when you're playing.
And then you wake up, and my age, knowing me, I'm sore for like 2-3 days, especially out
Yeah.
there, because it's a full contact. But the cool thing about it is they had 1,000 teams down in Florida right now playing.
Damn.
So, but you have to realize it's men's, women's. You have a
Oh.
co-ed
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
You have even kids. Like a couple of my buddies, their kids are down there playing in it right now as well. But big shout out to Casey. Good luck to your son, man. He's out there. But yeah, no, it's growing, and
growing.
it's so much like that people take it so serious. I mean, there's guys that really get into it. Like
Yeah.
they work out nonstop.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to train, to.
Of course, because those teams are ran almost like a little business.
Yes.
Because there's money involved. Everyone has to be accountable. The lineman has to be there.
Yes.
The running back has to make sure he shows up to the games. Because like there's not too many. I mean, you probably have another running back, but you have a certain team that you build and you invest your money. The coaches are investing. Everyone's investing into it. So it's like really important, especially when I play. When I play, I put 100%
Yes.
all my effort. If I get hurt and I break my leg, that's gonna cost me like my whole, like how am I gonna clean all of my houses and all that? So I already know when I go out there, I know that at any moment I can like hurt myself. So I put all my effort because I don't want to lose, but I got to make sure that I don't get hurt either. So it's like kind of like a thin line, like
Yes.
so you got to follow out
It's
there.
just the
What
male
happened?
intellect.
You got hurt this year,
Yes,
right?
I did get hurt this year. I actually broke my hand.
That's why
Sitting
you're
on-
not,
sitting
that's why
on
you
the
didn't go to
sideline.
Worlds.
Yes, I was supposed to be there with my guys right now.
Yeah.
I feel bad, but at the end of the day, God has a better purpose for me. I mean, there's so much more that I can do with my time.
Yeah.
As much as I want to be a part of my brothers and being out there with them. Money calls. I mean, I have a family to support, and I know that they
Absolutely.
understand that as well. Because if roles were reversed, they'd be doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Even some of our greats are sitting at home right now just because they had to work, or it's the new year. You had Christmas last month, so it's always hard to plan ahead if you only work so much. So,
Yeah.
but I broke my hand. I was sitting on the sidelines. I got stepped on and it broke basically right down the center of my pinky here.
Damn.
And I've just been rehealing it. I mean, I'm in the gym, slowly but surely now. It's really kind of taken me off my grind to be in the gym. So
yeah. So because you've always been fit. How did you always stay fit your whole life? You've always worked out your whole life, or no?
no, actually,
No?
I didn't play football in high school or junior high or nothing of that. I mean, I was a geek, or I was in the books.
Yeah.
I mean, before I moved here, I had a 4.0, and then once I got here, the depression as a kid, having to move. It just
That was hard
in.
on you, huh? Having to move up here.
Every person that I knew, like especially going in as a sophomore, and there you're not playing football, you're not doing band or anything of that. So it's like, well, how am I supposed to fit in? Like, or how am I supposed to aspire? So you have to come up with your own persona of yourself. And
Yeah. So so like if some kid that's going through that right now, what would you recommend him? Like say like just like your little, it's like some little kid that's
honestly,
going through that.
if someone is going through
Now that you're an adult.
yeah, now that I'm an adult, I mean, it's you. Like you have to approach it if you want to meet new people. That's the part of life, even as an adult. Like in the industry that we are in the corporate world, is you have to build relationships with people. You have to understand that not everybody's going to look at you the same, or you could be red, white, black, blue. I'm going to look at you the same because that's just how I was raised. Maybe another person, had a rough life that doesn't look at that the same way. You have to understand that as you grow older, your mindset's going to change because of the experiences that you've gone through. The experiences and the failures are what makes you the person you are today.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I've always stuck by is I always keep myself 100 to a person. I don't try to lie, cheat or steal with nobody and none of that stuff, because at the end of the day, I don't want that person to do that to me. I mean, if you're sitting here like, hey man, this person's picking on me at school or whatever, make sure you reach out to somebody, talk, because how am I supposed to know what another person thinks? We're not mind readers, we're human. Just like in your marriage. I mean, how are you supposed to communicate with your wife? You have to talk.
Yeah.
That's
You don't know what's in
success.
someone's mind.
Exactly.
Anything can be in someone's mind. Yeah.
Some person may view something different than what you are. I mean, your significant other. That's why they say opposites attract, or they say never to get with the person that thinks the same. But at the end of the day, it's between you and that person. It's not what statistics say or what somebody else says. As long as you love that person or care about that person, it should only have to worry about that. I don't know if you remember back in the early 2000s, 90s, I think it was Savage Garden. They had that song.
I don't really know.
No,
That's like a rock and roll song.
It's like a light rock type thing.
Oh, okay.
Like a smooth jazz type thing. But
what is the song like? What is it?
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's kind of similar to that.
Oh, similar to that.
Looking at someone, and how their persona is. You can't judge them just based off of what they look like.
Yeah,
you
like
don't know what they're going
judging
through.
a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Something like that, yeah.
Golden rule. But yeah, dude.
Because a lot of times it's not even the kid, and like when you moved here, you felt like you were the one getting judged by everyone else.
Exactly.
You were just trying to be your original self, and people were like, "Oh, look at this kid from Texas," who like shit like that.
I had a twang. I had that draw, southern draw at the time.
Oh yeah, because you were just like different. You weren't like this regular old kid from Toledo or wherever you were. Where were you, in Toledo? When you moved?
When I moved here, yes, we were in Toledo.
So yeah, you were not the regular old kid from Toledo, so people were like picking on you or no, like.
Oh, believe me, I've had my things as being picked on, dude.
Me too. People used to call me Yo-Yo and Yo whatever.
No, I was the small, skinny kid. So
was I, bro. I wasn't big, I swear.
Like
I used to be little. Like
I'll never forget this guy's name, and I know he's probably gonna be listening. It's DJ Everett. That kid, man, it was a tall, big, burly dude. Always used to pick on me. And I forget one day I said something back to him, and dude picked me up, threw me in the trash can. I was
but that feels good to stand up for yourself.
Oh yeah,
because then that's when you break through. You're like, man,
exactly. Sometimes you have to stand up to that bully. I mean, at the end of the day, if your back is against the wall and you have nowhere else to go, then yes, of course, you have to fight for yourself. But also don't get yourself walked on.
Yeah,
I mean, know your limits. Know where your pressure points are. You're going to understand yourself even more as you grow older. And I wish I'd known that a long time. It literally, I've gone through relationships issues. I've gone through, so many different things that have set me back. I've lost everything at one time when I went through my divorce. Yeah. And I had nothing. I was bringing home
reset.
Exactly. I was bringing home $350 a week. just barely enough to support my house, but even, to lose a house and car or whatever it is, like, and to where I am now. I mean, it's only you that's going to stop you. And
those dark moments though build a better person.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but them dark moments teach you something that if everything was always okay and everything was safe, it wouldn't have taught you that.
Exactly. You wouldn't be able to adapt and overcome some of the issues that you have in your life. I mean, that's a military aspect for me. I went into the military right at 18.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I've been around the world, man.
Yeah, you went, what branch of military?
I went to the Army. I went to Korea, got to spend a couple of years out there, went to California. Didn't deploy. So at the end of the day, I'm blessed on that. God.
Yeah.
I mean, I had what they called a deployment, which is like a hazardous pay and hazard duty station, just because you could be potentially into that.
Of course, at any moment, someone could just shot you, bro. It don't matter. And anyways, it doesn't matter. You got the training. You got to have fun. You got to go do that.
When I went in, I was a stubborn kid. Oh wait, I'm still.
I think
stubborn.
I remember you telling me that, but I can't remember. We haven't had a conversation like this in a long time. Yeah, so
I love the military.
So you do you do any kind of like, okay, you was talking about like starting a business. Have you ever tried to start a business, or you think about starting a business?
I'm thinking of starting a business. There's a couple ideas that I'm throwing around. I have a couple friends that are interested as well. I don't want to speak it into the existence.
Yeah, because
I mean, you can put it out there, but at the end of the day, there could be somebody else that say, "Hey, that's a good idea." Let me
don't if you don't have it like locked up and trademarked, just But it's good to. Even though you have your own thing, you're the manager at that thing, or it's always good to have like keep thinking of something, because you never know. Like you might fall into something like a business. It doesn't have to be a business like mine where you have to go and clean a house, and because then you got to be there. I
would say something that has really been kind of out there with my friends is detailing. My dad, I grew up with, carpet cleaning, houses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was just with my passion. I've been doing that since I was 7 years old with my dad, carrying water buckets, to help my dad. But, there's other different things that are out there
that kind of like, to me, like I got my cleaning business and it brings me money every day, but man, I got to go and clean I got to go and clean the house.
You have to marry that business.
Yeah.
As my buddy Sammy said the other day, literally, we were kind of talking about this, and he was just like, look, just so you know, when you start a business, it's like having another household. Like you literally have to put every minute of the day towards that business.
Yeah, it's hard
for it to succeed, especially in the very beginning. As time goes on and your business builds, then yes, of course, kind of slowly work your way back a little bit, but it's usually, to the wall every single day of the moment that you get. You don't really get that chance to like, unless you really like have to, but to me, when I'm running a business, I want to go. I want to make this an empire. Like that's what you want. You want to build that empire for your kids, for your family. The kids, your grandkids that are to come. Later on.
Absolutely, because your business. Okay, if you're really going to build a legit business, it's going to keep going. Eventually, we're going to get older. We're going to step out of it. We're going to want it to be almost like a legacy.
Exactly.
That's kind of what I want to start this podcast. I want to start this podcast because I have my business that's bringing me money, right? But I want to sit down. You see this thing where it says, "Together Toledo wins," right?
Amen. Definitely.
So I feel like together, having grown men, like, or even kids or women or whatever, just having conversations.
Definitely.
And that's why I remember when I first got with you and you said, well, what is there something we're gonna talk about? And I was like, well, no, because I just want you to come on and I want to get like caught up with what you've been up to. I want to give a little backstory because I don't want this to be just like, oh, this has to be this or that. No,
definitely.
I want it to be like a hangout. Come hang out with Yogi. Come like just have a conversation. Let's like that little, you see out of that whole conversation, that little nugget about you, about you when you were a kid and all that. That's a good thing because maybe it'll help someone that's moving, like let's say is moving from Florida to Toledo, and over there it's like a different kind of slang, a different kind of vibe.
No, definitely.
So might get a different. So it's good to have a grown man like you reminisce about that time to give a little insight about how, you know, what happened and how.
Definitely.
I think that's very important, man.
Yeah. You know, it takes a lot to actually go through that individually as yourself. I mean, to have that mentality, a lot of people, you know, turn to, you know, other things that they shouldn't, or do things to themselves. You don't want that to happen to anybody. I would never wish that on any person in my life. Like, especially being in the military, having that experience, and then as long as you don't have bullets flying over your head, like, or having to be in a rough type of relationship or something with your family members or the person you're with, you know, maybe to think of things on the other side of the foot. I mean, that's another thing that I like to do. And my fiance, my friends will tell me that, like, you think on both sides of the ball, because you have to put yourself on the other side in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Like, how is their day going? Like, what is it that's wanting them to act this way towards me? And why are they being so hateful to me? Or whatever, but
it feels like sometimes like it's like more of a they issue.
It sometimes is. I mean, a lot of times it'll be the other person because of what they're going through in their lives. Maybe they're going through the same thing you went through. I mean, you have to, you know, sometimes reach out to them and say, hey, man, I know you're picking on me and all, but like, you know, are you okay? Like, is there, did I do something wrong to you personally? Why are you feeling this way? It's like a Dr. Phil show. Why does it make you feel this way?
Yeah, but it's true. Like, imagine if like someone's picking on you and you're just like, bro, come on, man. Like, what's up? Like, what am I really doing? Because it's just like, okay, they don't like your shoes, or you speak different, or maybe they think, oh, you don't wear the right color shirt or whatever. You know, and then they just start picking on that. Oh, what are those? What are these? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, they start picking on one thing, and then it leads to like more. And
because
then
they want
some kids even commit suicide, bro.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff like that. Like, not only kids, but like all kinds of
even adults.
For people getting picked on and all
personally going through those things. I mean, you have to be able to, you know, reach out to somebody, or even like me. If you see me out in the world, hey man, I just need someone to talk to.
Absolutely,
I mean, any of my friends that will probably even watch this will tell you, I have been one of those ones. I'll give the shirt off my back for anybody, and you have been that way too since I've known you, Yogi. You know, being in the casino and then going from that lifestyle to, you know, drinking and doing the wrong things that, you know, some individuals do. I mean, people experience those things because they're going through a hurt themselves. And maybe it's just for them to get by for now until maybe their next break. They're waiting to, you know, get promoted at work or get that next big scratch off win or whatever, or hit the Mega Millions. You never know what's going to happen. But it's just something that you have to really, you know, trust your gut sometimes rather than just your heart.
Absolutely. So like, I never even, okay, I know that you have kids, but like last time I met you, how many kids you have?
I have 4. One of them will be my soon-to-be stepdaughter, Abigail. She's 11 years old. That girl, she's a blessing. She has Down syndrome. She's a great girl to be around. Always happy, always willing to, you know, have fun, willing to talk to you, gives you the love and kisses that you get. And then I have my 3 from my ex-wife. I have Sam, who is 8 years old.
Damn.
I mean, it's been that long. Like, I think while I was at the casino was when Chelsea got pregnant. And then I have Carly. She just turned 7 last month. And then I have a 3 about to be 4-year-old this next month, which is Sydney. I tell you, man, those kids light up your world. Like, they change you. Like, I was wild child back in the casino days, but as soon as I had my son, it was just like, man, like it's time to grow up.
So like being a father, how does that like feel? Like knowing like the things that you went through. How do you protect your kids from that kind of stuff? Do you talk to them about that stuff?
I try to. And me and my fiance are on the same page as this. We want them to make their decisions. They're gonna mess up, because if you sit there and coddle them, or you know, always run to their aid, like, hey, you fell down. No, sometimes you just gotta let them experience it, because if not, they're not gonna really learn or understand why that happened. And that's a life lesson for them, even at a young age, to try and, understand why this happened or what's going on. How do I do better next time? Why am I falling off my bike? Well, I need to pedal faster, or I need to hit the brakes when I come to a stop, that type thing. And even as adults, sometimes we mess up too. It's part of life. But
are you scared to like, have you ever thought about like when your kids get older and stuff and like all that stuff? Like,
I honestly think that's in every parent of how their kids are going to act or how they're going to react to the world. I mean, look at what's going on right now. You have all this stuff with Russia, and you have politics, and you have money and gas prices and food going up. And it's like, well, I fear for what they would have to go through. I mean, once my time in here on earth is done, I mean, I'm happy to go up to God and say, look, I did my best, man. I hope I can get through. But, I love what I do, and I love that my kids can at least look to me. I mean, there's certain situations that you never know that your kids may need you for. They're the ones that look to you every single day for the right answers. There's nobody else that's ever going to do that. I mean, you may have your wife to look for you at that, but that's not the person that's so innocent as your child. Your child is one of those ones that they are so innocent you can't hold anything towards them. I mean, that's not their fault.
And they're watching everything you do.
Exactly. And my son said a bad word the other day, and I'm like, wait, where did you hear that from? And it's like, Dad, you say it all the time. I'm like, all right, you got me, bro. Like, but I kind of play it off. But my son, he's a smart kid. All four of our kids are. And it's as long as that's what I want to do. I want them to learn every aspect of what I can teach them. I mean, whether it's business, whether it's, life lessons, going how to start a fire or how to do those certain things. Even, in schools, they don't even have checkbook, balancing. I mean, could you imagine if they had a financial
you
thing?
need to teach your kids that kind of stuff if you can right now.
Exactly.
Because at schools, they don't teach people how to be an entrepreneur, how to become, they just want you to be like a worker. Like they basically train you to become a worker. They don't give you like the tools to become a business owner, but you can kind of like mold your kids into becoming like entrepreneurs. Like my kids, I tried, but my kids, they don't
have their own aspirations.
They got their own things. But the thing is just to give them the tools so they can know. With me, I'm just like, ever since I've been home, I've been just trying to be like the most positive influence I can, as much as I can. I put it on my videos out, and I'm just being like an open book and trying to be more positive.
Exactly.
And then that, like that. Okay, well, I was gonna ask you something too. Like, what do you think about like social media? Do you feel that social media is like ruining the world, or do you feel like social media is like fixing everything, or what do you let your kids watch social media?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, tell me a little bit about it.
So for kids, social media, depending on the age group, are they mature enough? Do you feel as a parent, are they being responsible? Can they take on this? Because I'll tell you, social media is going to be everybody's downfall. I mean, a lot of things that happen on social media, like people advertising the wrong things. Like, what are you going to teach somebody that's a 16-year-old that has that? And by a family member or association, they add you on there and they start seeing you do this. What is that going to put into their head? They're going to think, oh, well, he's doing it. And, they tell me at school I can't do this, but yet he's doing this out in the real world. Who's the real person? Who's the villain? And who's the actual, the savior? Really? I mean, even in, like you were mentioning, in schools, they don't teach certain things. They want to teach you what they want to teach you. It's your mindset. Your mind is an ever-building thing that you can go out there and learn whatever. As much as you want to learn, you can learn. It's just adhering to it and understanding what you're actually learning. And then putting it to practice, of what you like, practicing how you preach.
Do you believe in can you use social media as a good tool to put out good messages? Like something like me working out, talking about health, talking about fitness, and not putting out like negative stuff or hate speech or something like that.
Definitely. And it's a weight system, whether it's good or bad. There's always going to be someone that's going to look at it in a negative way,
of course,
or they're going to take it the wrong way. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it and wear it right.
Yeah, because I put out workout videos every day. I'm sure people are like, God damn, I'm sick and tired of his workout videos. but I don't care because
It makes you feel good.
and not only that, there's a few core people that I help work out that follow my workouts.
Exactly.
And they see what I do on Monday and they want to see what I do on Tuesday. Because I never care. Like if the people that don't, I'm sure people get sick and tired of it, but whoever's sick and tired of it can just not watch it. I wanted people to watch the people that like me, the people that want to watch it. That's the kind of people that I just feel that if you take social media for a good, positive way, or like if you start let's say you start your business, right? And you open your business social media page. Like let's say Shawn's, car sales, and then you start that page and you just put like pictures of your cars and you make it into a business model. Facebook page, whatever, Instagram page. I think that like it shows people, you get eyes on it, you make stories, you get eyes on it, and you can sell a lot of things in sales by doing social media. It's just all about how you present yourself on the platform, I think.
And going back to that with the social media in itself, I mean, every person is going to be having a phone. A lot of people have phones, and that is the biggest distraction. Whether it's in your regular relationships or even in general, whether it's at work, you're on your phone, you miss a part that's supposed to be on a car, and it goes off the line, and then a wheel pops off down the line. Like, well, where'd the screw go to this or whatever? I mean, God forbid that would ever happen to anybody, but I mean, I'm just saying hypothetically.
Something like that's probably happened, bro.
Knowing me, yeah, probably.
You never know.
I'm putting bad juju. Hey, forgive me, God. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
I'm sure that's happened, bro.
But even then, you have to be able to hold yourself accountable. I mean, social media, it can definitely make or break you. I mean, whatever mood you're in can make you look at that social media platform differently.
Absolutely.
And that's the scary part about it, because you don't know how you're going to react to something until it actually happens.
Yeah, because I always think like I see somebody making funny videos or this and that. I'll be like, man, that's funny. I like that. That makes I automatically put a thought about that guy. Oh, that guy is funny. He likes to make funny videos, but that guy has so many more layers to him. Like that guy, he's a painter, he's a funny guy, he's this, he's that. He's a coach coaches his kids. He probably saw. I don't put I don't put too much value into one thing that people put on social media, because I feel like there's so much more to you. Like you, I didn't know all this stuff that you've done.
People don't do that.
I wanted to sit down with you because I wanted to get to know you in a more deeper conversation. I want to get to know like the real you, get to know about. I didn't know you were like in the army and all that.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they don't see that in me. They're like, oh, this guy, he's skinny, weirdo, kind of goofy dude. Like, who is this? And that's the thing. You never can tell by a person by just looking at them or barely even knowing their name. Yeah. It's about sitting down, like you've been saying all throughout this time is. Kids, if there's something wrong, sit down and talk about it. You don't need to turn to gun violence or to fighting somebody. I mean, what's that going to solve? Okay, you can beat my butt. I mean, you're beat my ass. I mean, you're stronger than me. Okay. Is that going to help you get through the day just today? I mean, how are you going to feel tomorrow when you wake up? Oh, I shouldn't have beat that guy up. Or, you'll have that gut wrench and then you're like, man, maybe I should have hit him a little bit harder. I don't know. But, I mean, those are the things that you go through. Your mind is your own battle. I mean, that's what a lot of people go through. That's why they get anxiety and depression. The issues that they go through, whether it's a hard breakup or having to be separated from someone or a family member passing or something of the sort, and not being able to reach out to those individuals. Those people that post on social media, maybe that's what they're looking for, is someone to say, hey, what's going on? Talk to me. Tell me what's going on, just to listen to someone. I mean, I have friends that call me up all the time to say that.
You was always good with that. I remember you always calling Cypher, talking to him.
Yeah,
not that he was depressed or nothing, but I just remember you always like keeping in touch with him.
Yep.
We used to go up to Michigan.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, we still communicate.
I remember you always kept in touch with him, and you always kept in touch with me. Like you've always like messaged me here and there or wrote something on my Facebook. Like you've never went like years and years and years without like at least like every once in a while we would see each other at flag football.
Yep.
You would be playing with this team, I would be playing with this team, and we would always like find a
Somebody
way.
like, "Hey,
What's
Rob,
up?
you doing?"
Give you a
Yep.
hug.
Yep.
Like it's like you've always been a solid ass dude, man. Even a solid ass friend. So I know to the friends that you're closer with, I know you've always been a solid.
Definitely.
Because I haven't. I'm not a really close friend, but you've always been a solid friend to me.
Yeah, definitely.
So I
We're
know
gonna
that.
be even closer now, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what I want to do is like now that I got these guests on my podcast. Eventually, like I'm just trying to get a group of all of us like good-minded, like-minded people.
Definitely.
Like eventually, just to, like get to know each other. Like Robert Smith, not my last guest because that was my wife, but the guest before that, Robert Smith was talking about maybe we should do maybe a little luncheon one day and get like all of us sitting down and just talk and like even
Kind of like a networking event.
yeah, like
type
this
thing,
guy,
but as-
the guy that rents me this, Jacob Conine, he rents me the studio.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yep, thank you, Jacob, very much for everything you do for me. He gives me a lot of knowledge, and maybe we could sit down with him. I got a bunch of other guys. I don't know if this is all possible, but one day,
Definitely.
once I get more guests and like we can have like a little thing, sit down and just. There's so much we can do in this city. There's so much we need to
Definitely.
fix. There's so much things we need to talk about. I know I can't do everything with money because I don't have money like that.
Exactly.
But I think opening up these conversations, showing like that we can talk about this kind of stuff, I think it'll get the ball rolling to get more positive stuff going here in Toledo.
I think one of the biggest things, honestly, just to even throw it out there, I don't have the money to make a big old business out of it, but honestly, something that needs to be done here in Toledo is somewhere for the kids to go. I mean, if you really look at it, they have bars, they have churches, they have abundance of different places.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, there's not where like a gaming center or something of the sort where kids can really get away. Like, I mean, they have a place down in Texas. It's called Main Event, where they have bowling, they have bumper cars, they have all these things in one individual area.
Yeah.
You have, and it's always packed full of kids and families that are going in there. I mean, you have your, gangs that have their issues and they want to go to the different turfs and stuff like that. But if you have this individual place from kids that are young age all the way up to the top, and it gets them off the streets, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Community events are really
like
need
a
to be-
brand, like a new age Boys and Girls Club.
Definitely.
Because back in the day, we used to go to Boys and Girls Club here in Toledo, but I don't know if that's even available anymore. But like something like I've always thought like this is like something like what you said, but with like streaming, like people this and that, like something like that. I've always thought about that. Well, anyways, Celia Ramirez, she was a guest of mine a few episodes ago too. She wants to do this, or she has this foundation called Homeboys Haven.
Okay.
And she wants to go. She's gonna get a building. She just talked to the city, talking about getting a building and having like something like that on the east side. Eventually
Definitely.
started like in different areas, but not to the whole extent that you were saying. But it all starts with something.
Exactly.
If you
It
just
starts
have
with an idea.
yeah. Because like I started this whole podcast in my living room, and then I moved it to my garage, and now I'm in this studio. And then eventually, when I build my house, I'm gonna have like a little studio in my house.
There
and
you
stuff.
go, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, and
be
then
great.
we can come back. This is like this is something that I just want to do for me because like I want to keep growing. Like I think like eventually we can get this growing. And I don't care about the viewers like outside of Toledo. I really don't care like if this podcast blows up outside of Toledo. I just want it to be like a TV show here in Toledo so we can promote good people like you. People that like have good minds that are like like-minded. I keep messing that up. Like-minded people,
Definitely.
so we can talk about issues that are going on here in the
Definitely.
city.
Definitely.
Because we don't have the answers. I know you don't have the answers.
No, but-
I don't have the answers.
But there always is somebody out there that may have the answer. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. If one person doesn't, and this network of group of people, I mean, you might have doctors, interview, certain people that might have
Yeah.
job openings that say, hey, through this network, hey, do you know anybody? Oh, yeah, well, I know this person, or
Oh, yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
That's how networking grows, and that's how businesses grow. You have
Yeah.
to build from within your city. You can't always just, expect someone to come out from somewhere else to and know what Toledo is about.
Yeah.
I wasn't born and raised here, so I
know.
mean, someone of your aspect or someone else out there that can come in and say, hey, these are my ideas too. You bring them all together. It's like a little committee.
Hey, so now that you weren't born in Toledo, but now that you've lived here for a long time, you feel like you're part of Toledo, right?
Definitely. I mean, I've been here off and on since 2001.
Oh, so
2002.
But you go back and forth to Texas?
I go to visit Texas. I have friends down in family members down in Mississippi. I mean, I know people everywhere.
But it's hard. You can't leave now because now your kids are up here.
Yes, that's the biggest thing is my kids. Like I love being around them. I mean, they're a hoot and a holler, but they can be a pain in the rear some days.
Now you're stuck in Toledo forever.
Well, at least for another another 14 years.
Yeah, because you can't move somewhere and then only come see your kids every once in a while. Hell no.
No, I can't do that.
I've thought about, like, so many times people say, why don't you come to Florida and move here? But I already had kids at that time. I was like, hell no. I'm going to be, even though me and their mom wasn't together, I still stayed in Toledo because I still wanted to be available at any moment.
Definitely. And then honestly, that's it. One thing that I can say that I fell short on, and even in my marriage. Everybody falls short.
Yeah.
I was working. I was the only provider of the house. So I was consistently gone all the time. But at the end of the day, I would come home to my family and be like, okay, this is where your home is, where your heart is.
Yeah.
Or your heart is where your home is, whatever it is. But
I think you said it right the first time. Your home is where your heart is.
But if you really look at it, I wouldn't change it for anything for my kids.
Yeah. So same thing with me, bro. My first marriage didn't last, and it is what it is. You can never
go back and change it.
Yeah. So the thing is, you just got to be the most best father you can now.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, your kids are going to get older, and I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not the best father. I always say that because I want to make sure that no one thinks that I'm the best father in the whole world. But I want to be as the best. I made a lot of mistakes, so I know what happened. So I just want to be able to provide a little knowledge for whoever. I wasn't the greatest dad, but I know that I was always around here in Toledo, and I was always a phone call away if anybody ever needs it. So that's what you can never just leave to Texas. I mean, yeah, to visit or back and forth, but never for years and years because the kids, they need you to be a phone call away.
And honestly, that was the main reason why I had to come back. I had 3 different opportunities to move away from the city, literally. And when it came down to it, of course, my ex-wife, she didn't feel comfortable moving that far away with just us and not being able to have family around in case we needed it, of course. Yeah. But, and we butted heads. I mean, that was the biggest thing. And it happens. I mean, but I moved back. I gave that all up because I gave a whole career. I was working with Toyota down in Texas.
Oh, for real?
Literally. 70, 80K a year, they give you a company vehicle, that type thing. So I looked at it as
give you a car for gas and this.
So I looked at it as what? Shoot, I mean, I can get another job, but I can't replace my kids. And I can't replace the person I'm with. So that's what made me move back. I mean, there's multiple times I've been promoted out from Toledo. They want me to move into bigger roles or different places, and that's just something that has hindered me. Honestly, was not really necessarily hinder me, but I have a family. And I have to support them. And that's one of the biggest thing for me is making sure that they can eat every night, have a roof over their heads. And I can...
That's the most important thing there is, for real. There's really nothing more important than just sticking around your family.
Definitely.
For real. At the end of the day, family has to come first because all your friends come and go, everything comes and go, but those kids will never come and go. They're yours forever.
Yep.
Maybe they'll grow up and stuff, but guess what? They'll have grandkids, and they're gonna be like, "Grandpa, I need you to watch these kids."
Right. So fill them up with sugar and send them right back. That's what my dad used to say. He's like, "Hey, let's just fill them up with sugar and send them back."
Yeah. So I'm really proud of you for everything you've done since the moment I met you at the casino, man. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. We're all done, but Thank you so much, and you're doing good, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, and if
you.
you
I
ever need
appreciate
help with the business stuff
Definitely.
like that, we'll
I know
get
we
that
didn't really
started.
touch on it, but yeah, I'll be definitely calling you.
I want you to have the idea first, so then we can talk about the whole business.
Definitely.
So we're gonna have you back on.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Bye.
See y'all
you guys
later. God bless.
Thanks
Have
for
a good one.
watching. See you next week.